viewers of Elkem TV, and you're welcome to the Said Agafiire Wiki every single Friday from the hours of 5 to the hours of 6. We're already into the house. My name is Urban Brown, and I'm going to be taking you through the news items that have actually made rounds all over the week, like we always do it. One more time, I want to appreciate you for always keeping it Elkem TV, actually surrendering your time, giving in your data and everything to keep actually connected, keep alert on Elkem TV. Right here, I'm not alone on two other sides of Elkem TV. I've actually come along with my news analysts. They're already in the house, and we're going to be talking about a couple of things. But I beg just keep locked, get onto the YouTube platform, type Elkem TV, subscribe, and put on the bell. Don't forget to write your comment about this particular show. You know, before actually proceed into the stories, just allow me give my analysts in the house to have a word for the viewers of Elkem TV, and we proceed with the show. Mr. Kangao Yeseri, you're most welcome onto the site of Elkem TV. Just briefly, I implore you to have a salutation to.
Yeah, I'm so happy for welcoming me. I'm always happy to be part of this discussion, and as we deliberate, we put more sense into what has transpired throughout the week. And this is another one. It has been full of action-packed. We have a lot to deliver, so just stay tuned. And I greet all the business community in Masindi and all the deaf community in Masindi. I love you so much. Just stay tuned.
That is so beautiful. Yesterday, actually, thanks for coming through and being live onto the state of LKTV. One more time, have another analyst into the house. That is Andama Moses. Thanks for coming through and being live onto the Elkem TV. Just implore you to have your word for the viewers of Elkem TV, and we proceed with the show.
Okay, thank you very much, our moderator, and also the viewers of Elkem TV. We want to welcome you for this special edition as usual. So I'll be cruising and taking you up to that hour. I think whoever is following us, please, you just have to follow us and like, share on our respective channels. Today is a beautiful day, and whatever may transpire here, just keep your eager ears and your eyes as attached.
It is a very beautiful evening, and one more time, I want to appreciate everyone that is actually catching up with the show and the love where you're watching from. Thanks for loving Elkem TV. Thanks for joining us this stage, and the ones that are still joining, we actually welcome you to this particular show. The week has actually been very long, as you know, that every single Friday on Elkem TV we come up with the news items. We talk about the various stories that have made rounds all over the week. Now, this very week, I'll start off in our district, that is Masindi. I'll start from Masindi. We saw that this very week, residents of Kyangamoyo village, that is in Kibuli sub-county, trying to accuse their leaders of asking money from them in order to include them among the PDM beneficiaries. Keep locked, we're coming more with more about that story. And still in Masindi, we see that today over 400 students are graduating on different courses at Kema College. So the number of things that we're going to be talking about that is what has actually happened today in our district, Masindi. And we're sorry for that, but away from there, we see that still in Masindi district, we see the cow, that is Sanyu Fiona, the Chief Administrative Officer of Masindi, actually giving Masindi Hospital boss 14 days to defend himself onto you remember the story that happened last week, whereby there was some kind of grudge, some kind of push, some kind of fight at a Masindi main hospital. That was Katusime Vincent, the medical superintendent officer, involved in a fight with a certain woman at the hospital premises. You know, he have been given 14 days to actually defend himself before the cow takes real action towards what happened on such a day. And away from there, still crossing over to the national scene, we see that these are very before I get onto the national scene, we see that this very week in Kikube district, two Chaco banners are actually killing their boss in such a brutal way, whereby these two moved together, and when they reached the bush, unfortunately, they ended up killing the boss. The two have been arrested, and currently they're into the custody, and we're going to talk more about that story. And now, moving straight onto the national scene, we see this very week Speaker Anita Nitamong, that is actually once Observer newspaper, should for inciting Ugandans to hate Parliament. And away from that, we also look onto another story, that is Besigye, that is the former president for Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, also firing back to Amriat, saying it is a time to focus on substantive issues as opposition, not petty fights for party symbols and colors. And away from there, still moving on onto the national scene, we see that this very week also the NOP. We see the NOP member, that is a member of parliament, Abed Buanika, blustering Bobby Wine, saying that his politics is built on insult, warfare, and homosexuality. Keep locked. We actually going to talk more about that story. And away from there, onto the other story, we see Besigye still actually taking a swipe back at Minister Balam Barugahara, saying that you wise young dogs should avoid NRM's toxic company. This actually comes about after Honorable Balam Barugahara actually sending a Basidi message to Besigye. And that was actually the response that came back away from Besigye. And this very, very week, that was yesterday in Kabale district, we saw the CDF, that is Chief for Defense Forces, that is none other than Muhoozi Kainerugaba, celebrating his 50 years Basidi in Kabale district. So keep locked. We're actually going to talk about many about that. Meanwhile, away from there, just allow me move into a short break, and when we do return, we'll be diving into the real stories, the real gist of this particular show, and actually getting you to know many about what has happened. Thank you. Keep locked. Don't move away. Once again, and welcome back from that show. My name is Abel Brown, and the show is Agafiire. Thank you, whoever's joined up the show. Actually, thanks for joining up. And right here, we're actually getting to the real gist of this particular show, whereby we talk about the news items that have transpired throughout the week. Meanwhile, we're starting right here in Masindi. We see that this very week, my scrutinizer in the house, that some residents of Kyangamoyo village, that is in Pakanyi, and actually trying to accuse their leaders of asking money from them to include them onto the PDM to include them onto the PDM program. Has a journalist in the house. We all know that this program was brought about by Parliament, and it is just to develop, to empower Ugandans. But recently, we see a couple of people, a number of issues coming about onto this particular thing, saying that people are asking money, and we actually used to see this from far, but currently we are seeing it in Masindi, in one of the places. So, what is your take about this act that is actually going on in the areas? Is what these people are doing right, or maybe it's not clear, basing on what actually was set for this particular PDM purpose?
Well, I really feel pity for both sides. In the first place, for example,
Yes.
I feel pity for the beneficiaries. The government is focusing on people who are struggling to live, who are working on an arrangement of hand to mouth.
Yes.
These are people who are basically surviving on nothing. So the purpose of PDM is to really try and give them a boost so that they can improve on their livelihood. Now, when you look at, for example, the money they are giving them is very small, really 1 million.
1 million, yes.
And you know, even that money really has a lot of expectations. It's not that they are giving you, it's not a grant, but they are expecting you to use it, and they are giving you a grace period of time, and then you have to take back that money.
Yes.
Now, that is the situation. So the beneficiary is really looking forward to getting that money. And not all people qualify
Yes,
to get that
get
money.
money.
As I told you, it is aimed at those people who are living from hand to mouth. Now, given that background, look at the people the government has employed to actually dish out that money.
Yes.
These are people who may not necessarily be surviving on that basis of hand to mouth, but also they don't have money.
It is true.
Now, you can imagine being given money to give to another person, but when you yourself,
You don't have
money.
It is
So it
true.
really puts them in a very dangerous situation. So what they really do is they find a way of playing monkey tricks.
Understand.
Not only are they bringing their people they know to be beneficiaries, so that after they receive, then they pass behind the camera, and then they hand the money to them. But also they talk to the other beneficiaries, that, you know what, how much are you willing to give me,
Yes.
so that I can put you on the
include
list.
you among the beneficiaries.
And because the beneficiary is really desperate, and now he's cornered, he ends up giving in.
Giving out the money.
So I really feel what these people, these peasants in Pakanyi, they have done is actually a very good thing. Let them expose them, otherwise they will keep on dying in silence.
Absolutely.
The reason why I'm supporting the peasants to really expose these leaders is this. When that money gets into the hands of these beneficiaries,
Yes.
they are going to be given a grace period of time. When that grace period of time elapses, the government will need its money back.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, if you have not worked, and if for some reason that money is not properly accounted for, you are not seeing it, it is the beneficiary to go in jail. And you're not going to tell the government that, you know what, some of the leaders ate part of this money. So it is a very serious case if it involves really prison. So exposing the leaders at this time when they are asking for the money, I feel it is a very wonderful move on the part of the beneficiaries. And by the way, it also requires a lot of courage, because if you expose them badly and for some reason it doesn't come to light, they will make sure you don't benefit from that money. So exposing them as early as possible, to me, I feel it was a very courageous act. These are the patriotic people we are looking for.
Okay.
And for your own information,
Yes.
as you mentioned it earlier, it is not happening. You think it has not been happening in Masindi.
But it's
We've been reading about them. We've been seeing them on televisions happening in other parts of the country.
Yes.
Who told you? These things are happening everywhere. Only that these leaders are smart. They make sure they do it behind camera.
They cover everything.
They do it behind camera.
Okay.
So it is only in some few leaders that are unfortunate when these stories now spill and go in front of the camera. That's when it gets reported, and then they get exposed properly. But these things are happening everywhere. And by the way,
Yes.
on the other hand, I'm sorry for these leaders they have exposed,
Yes.
but this one is the daily norm in this country. This is on a small scale, just 1 million. When you look at it, what percentage are they going to benefit? Maybe they are saying, give me 300,000 or 200 or 150 or 100 or more. But I'm telling you, when it goes to even a bigger level,
Yes.
this is what leaders
And
are doing.
maybe to add on to the story, we see that one of the beneficiaries, actually one of the residents in Kiruli, was also complaining, saying that they do the process. They told him to hold on. He didn't receive the money on the phone. But after a span of time, when he went back to check or to access the money or to started the process, he was told that the computer showing that he received the money, but in the complaining that he didn't do it, receive the money in actual sense. So you see, there is that kind of contradiction, that kind of things we don't know. Either the money was taken by the people, by the bosses that are giving out the money, the people with authority, or maybe there is how it dived in and it ended up in the computer, showing that he received the money.
Yeah, I'm telling you. When it comes to money, or generally when it comes to eating,
Yes.
people's ears
Everyone is right.
behave like for a dog.
Yes.
They get tuned, and everybody wants to make sure on the line is prioritized. So again, this one I don't know. That's why even the government, many times the government, and that's why they have resorted to more of using the UPDF in most of its operations.
I get it right.
Whether it is constructing now a football pitch like Nambole, whether it is even the other engineering avenues.
Yes.
The government now is resorting to the UPDF. Why? Because I think it has a very good system of trying to curb corruption and misconduct. No soldier wants to risk
Yes.
being caught and then showing up before the court martial.
It is true.
Yeah.
Actually, that is very beautiful. Just give the microphone to my colleague, that is Andama Moses. Andama Moses, thanks for coming through and being onto the site of Elkem TV. This very week, we've seen a circumstance in one of our places, that is in Kiruli sub-county, whereby residents of Kyangamoyo were complaining that the leaders or the people with authorities that actually are in the program of PDM are actually requesting money from them to include them among the beneficiaries. So what is your take? Is actually what these people are doing right, or maybe there is how this money helps them to run the process, or it's just something so unfair for them to do that?
Yes. PDM money, first of all, it is a presidential initiative, PDM and the Mioga. Those are presidential initiative. And he basically brought it to help the needy who can't afford to raise the capital to start a business of their favor. So it has come to improve household income, and it is given to beneficiaries on the parish level.
Yes.
So those authorities, they were there to guide the beneficiaries, but the only thing with the PDM,
yes,
the only money you pay is when you pay for the file and maybe the certain things,
yes,
photos or what, that's the only money. Then if a technical person comes and maybe asks for money from the beneficiaries, I think that is wrong. But this thing of PDM, the complaint is not just only here in Masindi. It's across all the areas where beneficiaries are. Even I myself in my district of Kiriandongo, of recent people were complaining that the chairperson in the parish level has been asking for a certain percentage. They give you 1M, but at the end, you come and give chairperson like 300 or 400
out
of the 1 million that you get. So I also try to follow that issue. I contacted the sub-county chief of the sub-county to find out whether the allegations are true. He told me the secretary for the parish was arrested over that issue. They have been following it. These issues are everywhere. But if leaders or the technical people who are supposed to help the poor people to get that money start doing that thing, it is very illegal, and I think law has to work with them.
yes,
That money comes, and you are not supposed to get less than $1 million or beyond $1 million. And the leaders or the technical people are not supposed to be among the beneficiaries. They are not supposed even to get any single coin that for the beneficiaries to benefit. So we condemn it, and whoever does that will be God.
So honestly, what is your take towards the people that are doing that?
Definitely they have to face the law, or they arrested them to explain whether those were the principles of the PDM.
Yes, it is a very beautiful evening, and once again, my name is Aban Brown, on to the side of Agafiire week. Right here, we're actually trying to indulge into a lot of stories, getting to see what had actually happened into the week, what has transpired. Right here, we have been talking about the story that is actually happened in Kiruli, that is in Kyangamoyo, Kiruli sub-county, that is in Pakanyi. Formerly it was Pakanyi. And so right now we see that what those people are doing, all leaders that are outside there and requesting money from the beneficiaries, what you're doing is not right. We implore that you adjust, unless you will actually face the law. And I implore everyone that is responsible for this to actually intervene and see that such a kind of characters are stopped, so that we can, as we fighting corruption as well. And away from there, still in Masindi, we see that this very week, the cow that is Sanyu Fiona, giving actually the Masindi hospital boss 14 days to defend himself over the scuffle that happened at the hospital premises last time, whereby they fought the medical superintendent officer, that is Katusime Vincent, fought a certain lady, and this video went viral, and actually there was a lot of complaints. So looking into the story, we see that Sanyu Fiona, the cow, was actually accusing Katusime Vincent, the medical superintendent officer, of breaching the section of FR and FS of the Public Service Stand 2021. Actually, looking at this situation, the way it happened, what is your take on to the leaders? Because we have seen a number of things happening in such a way. What could be the reason that is actually leading to this?
There are so many explanations that can account for this. But first of all, the situation itself, what happened, is so unfortunate. Because by the time you are put in a position of oversight of that nature, we trust that your professional code of conduct is also high.
It is true.
Yeah. So,
yes.
Again, when you look at what happened, it was a very small thing, really. A woman vending chapatis in the hospital. And whatever was the source of disagreement, it was completely 100% uncalled for.
It couldn't have reached all that.
For the superintendent of the hospital to really go to those lengths of trying to manhandle the woman. They are wrestling each other down. The woman is getting serious tight hold on his shirt, and the shirt gets torn, and I mean someone is filming. All this was too much for me, really. There are so many ways. Even if it was, let's say, even if we were to say that the woman was the one on the wrong, still it was not uncalled for the superintendent of the hospital to really to fight, to wrestle her down. And I mean, there were so many people under him that he could use.
Yes.
Yeah, he could, I mean, just order so and so, if there is any security in the hospital, even others who are below him to handle the woman, or even to simply send her out of the hospital if she had become a nuisance. But going to those great lengths of trying to wrestle her down and fight her, and even now the woman also became so defensive.
Yes, I understand.
And whatever happened, it was a big shame to the entire hospital and to the entire management.
Yeah.
So for me, what I would think, what the cow has done is really good.
Yes.
Why? Because the video went viral.
Yes.
The entire public looked at it. I would say with this social media, the whole world looked at it. So the cow stepping in and summoning him, I feel that is very good. Let's see what comes out of it. It's just nice and democratic to give him a chance. Let him defend himself. You never know, maybe there is something we have not known that really was of very serious concern that could justify his conduct.
Adding on to, as I said, actually adding on to the later, I see that the cow wants to align the former, actually it's currently the former because it's been stopped.
Yeah.
from the medical. It's just currently he's just operating like any other doctor in the hospital. But you see that the cow has actually gotten that mentality of wanting to align this medical superintendent officer into the disciplinary committee, like any other decision that maybe the cow may take. So before anything else is made. And maybe let me talk to my colleague here, Annaba Moses. Thanks for coming through once again. We have actually been looking at the story that happened at Masindi Hospital, whereby we saw a scuffle, a woman fighting the medical superintendent officer. You see that I'm so aware that as the medical or the general hospital, they have gotten some guides around. It actually, what comes into your mind, because it would have been a guide to actually look for the ways of pushing this woman outside in case she had resisted. But we saw the medical superintendent officer himself intervening and fighting the woman. What image does it actually create of Masino to the national scene?
Thank you. I think the image the medical superintendent portrayed shall not be, to me, say, rubbished away. It will take a while and it will still remain in history because that is not the way as a manager,
a profession,
to solve an issue. Every institution or organization, there are always rules and regulations that guide people.
Yes.
So the woman is a hustler, and by then, when it happened, she was not the one on the ground. She sent the daughter to actually bring the chapati because it is her usual business where she earns a living.
Okay.
And also educates
the children.
One of his child and also the others. So happened that the child became, and those things were confiscated by
yes.
Yeah, they were confiscated. That they are not allowing any intruder inside here. Then that's when they started battling. That's where the battle started. The askari took the chapati, went and dumped it in a rubbish pit. He dumped it. So those things are not good. Not until even those prison warders came to intervene the matter. So doctor reacted in a bad way. He could call that woman either somewhere and say, no, you know what? Here, this is how we do it. Please, for today, we may forgive you because you don't know. But we don't always entertain such. Rather than really wrestling with the chapati seller, sitting on the woman, even giving punches when the whole world is watching it. It was unfortunate. Not until the high authorities came to intervene it, and the cow received the call from the ministry, from permanent secretary, to take action against the doctor for what he did. And the letter that was written to him was to withdraw from that position of MS, but he still remains serving people as a doctor. So that is his current situation. But if you have something in your heart, I don't think that that thing will disappear away. But we condemn that, and please, it should be just a lesson to other people in such offices, that if you have to handle any matter, it should be in a peaceful way rather than doing it in a way that may even cause issues to you in the future. I think it was so bad, and we regret as the citizens of Uganda and residents of Masindi, it has portrayed a really bad image to our hospital and the Masindi district local government authorities.
Adding on to the story or what happened that very day. Today, as I was actually moving around the streets, I actually happened to encounter the woman that actually fought with the Katsime Vincent, the medical superintendent officer. She was actually saying that currently she's not in a good condition because she was harmed, and she's actually requesting for Good Samaritans to intervene and help her because based on the situation, she was arrested, taken to police, and she actually spared lots of money, and currently she has no any stand. She has no what she can do to cater for his family. So she was kind of trying to employ the good Samaritans to come and help. So what is your say about that? Is it right to, or maybe it should be the medical superintendent to put in the money and actually finance this very woman onto what happened?
You know, when issues reach legally, it is now very hard to come out with the resolution on that. Because the woman claimed doctor, after that incident, went and opened the case against her, an assault. Then from there, her files were worked on, and the woman was brought to court, and she was remanded to court.
To court, yes.
So court, she was charged with assault, though it was taken as a minor case, but at the end she was given a community work to serve, and she was working at the court. But if she's complaining of health condition, definitely it was as a result of that scuffle between her and the doctor.
The doctor, yes.
So it is supposed to be doctor
to
compensate her
compensate.
or to compensate her. But now the question will come, is it true? What is causing the pain on her? Is that issue or the wrestling or the punches doctor made, or it is any other disease or sickness?
Yes.
So if it is found out that it is true, definitely doctor.
Actually, basing on her explanation, she was like, it is just like a result of the fight, the way she was hit, and she's not feeling unfair.
Yes, and then it is doctor to actually intervene and compensate for her treatment. That is it.
Okay, then that's very beautiful. Thanks for keeping it Elkem TV. My name is Aban Brown. We're still indulging into more of the stories, and all I pray is keep locked into the Elkem TV as we actually move into more other stories. Just allow me take into a very, very short break, and when we do return, we shall actually be continuing with other stories within the areas of Masindi. A very good evening once again, and you're welcome back from that short commercial break. Later on, before we got into our break, we were actually trying to look into a number of stories and what actually transpired into the week, what happened at the hospital. But basing on to the scrutinizers actually side, they're like what the cow is actually trying to position is the right way to go. You know, away from that very story, we shall keep embedding onto the story till the last date we give you the final thing, how things have happened. So keep locked on Elkem TV every single Friday as we're giving you all the updates. And away from there, this very day of Friday, we see that over 400 students at Kema College, Technical College, actually graduating on different courses. And my question comes about that when I was at the scene, there's been missing. We have actually not seen around any member of parliament appearing at the graduation ceremony. It's only been the LOC5. My scrutinizer in the house, I want you to actually have a say about this. What image is being portrayed for all these political persons, the members of parliament, not appearing on such a graduation, on such a function?
Thank you very much. I think, first of all, Kema Technical College, Uganda Technical College, Kema, is a government institution. And all the leaders we are supposed to embrace government programs wherever they are. And today it so happens that those students had come to graduate. It was a pleasure. It is a national event, and the minister came, was delegated by the Minister of Education, that's the First Lady. Actually, it was supposed to be the First Lady, but she delegated.
Yes.
That's Chris Kyomhendo, who came in.
Yes.
Muyingo. He came in and represented the First Lady.
Yes.
But he was disappointed with the turn-up of the leaders. It was only chairman, LOC5, and even he came a bit late, though he also gave his remarks. So the man was like, they need to find out the reason as to why those leaders failed and didn't turn up. So it was so embarrassing. I think that message shall be delivered to the ministry. And it is the same on us as Masindi. We are crying for Bunyoro University. Kema Technical College is a government institution. Our children are there. And you as leaders, you are not supporting. It is like as if you are not happy with the institution to exist in your region. So it was the same, but I think next time leaders should take note that such events, such national events should be considered as a first priority. Fine, some MPs might be having their busy schedule in parliament, but still you have to delegate some people who are here. You have people whom you are supposed to delegate. We have other leaders here besides MPs.
Yes.
Why did the chairman fix time to go there? It was really so bad, and we condemned that. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for the great remarks about that very function. Let me talk to Kangao Yeseri. Kangao Yeseri, today we've been actually seeing over 400 students actually graduating at Kema Technical College on various courses. But we have scarcity in jobs, and having actually done the courses, do you have it in mind that there will be opportunities for these people that are still fresh into the community? What is your say? What should these guys exactly do? Because we have scarcity of jobs in our country.
Yeah, well, one of the few programs that I really have high hope and trust so much is usually at the colleges. They are better than, to me, they are better than even the universities. Because it is these ones that are actually producing real practical men on the ground. You know, universities somehow train job seekers.
Not job creators.
Not job creators. But when you look at, for example, our district and town, Masindi, you realize there are actually so many boys that are climbing poles, fixing people's homes, and even in our homes, when sometimes we get electric shocks, there we know their numbers. You
Yes.
just call him, the guy comes, he fixes, you agree on how much, and life continues. So I am so happy every time I see a lot of students actually graduating, because I know problem solvers are about to enter community. In fact, my piece of advice would also be, okay, also the other problem would be lack of capital, but if they are able to just start their own jobs, for example, set up a small kiosk, start with a few tools you have. I'm very sure, Mr. Moderator, that at the time of graduation, at least they leave the college with some few tools. For example, at least they have the overalls to
The
start
ones
with.
that have been using to do some practical kind
the
of work
helmets,
at
the
school.
everything. Let them start with that. Just set up, let's say, a small kiosk, brand yourself, and let people know that, okay,
he does this.
Urban Brown is here, he has graduated into this. I'm telling you, we have problems in our homes.
It is true.
Electricity is disturbing us. Or if they have done welding, whichever course it is, we shall always look for these people. To me, I am very happy because these are problem solvers in our community.
Absolutely.
And every time they come into community, I am happier. Actually, I'm more worried when we get university graduates. Yeah, why? Because these are job seekers. They are at some point they are going to become a burden to us. In fact, if you want to prove this, just apply you advertise accidentally for a job which requires, say, a degree holder or in whichever field, and I'm telling you, you will see how many applications you will get. And I'm telling you, that's why even at some point when they are giving them interviews, they ask them silly questions that are not even related to what they have come to do. If, for example, for example, they are looking for a social worker in a certain office, they will start to ask them, how many ministers do we have in the country? And you're like, what? So how is that related to what?
To what you've actually done today.
But all this is to show you that the applicants, usually there are so many, job seekers are so many that when you apply for just one job, when you advertise one job, you're going to get thousands of them. And
Yes, and currently, if you look at the population of Uganda, the students that are graduating day and night, the country is actually looking at job creators than job seekers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe just your last submission for that, and then we get into another thing.
Yeah, I wanted to just add on that, for example, when you look at our Kiema College, when you look at the courses they are doing down there, they are so practical, they are hands-on. For example, they have welding, they have electricity, electrical, at different levels, and all the other courses that there is plumbing. I mean, these are courses we need in Masindi.
Absolutely.
Most especially, given the fact that it is a growing town, now even we have a big potential of this place now really becoming a very big town now. When you look at these developments, the oil discoveries, and
we need these people involved.
We seriously need them. Instead of hiring people, looking for mechanics from Kampala, looking for plumbers from Kampala, he has to charge you the transport, he has to the accommodation, the time he's going to spend here, the labor, the what. If we have boys here on the ground,
it can simply solve everything. Okay, that is very beautiful. And one more time, I want to actually congratulate everyone at Kiema Institute. And we pray that wherever right now is tuned on the Elkem TV, take these advices, take these decisions not for granted, because they actually what you're going to face into the community. And when you get back, that is actually the right thing that you have to do, so that we can move on to the same pace and also have something for yourself and value your education as well. And away from that story that has also happened today, that is in Masindi, we see this very week the speaker, that is Anita Monk, our speaker of Uganda, directing the Parliament Legal Department to sue Observer newspaper, accusing the organization of sowing seeds of hatred in order for Ugandans to hate Parliament. What is your take about this? Do you see Speaker doing the right thing, or maybe it is actually not something right? Because we know that for the country to move, there is a first estate, and that's the media. And when the media intervenes in, they bring out light. But she came out and kindly tried to contradict with what Observer did. Was this actually right, or she kind of messed up with what was supposed to be done?
Fine. We know media, they are the first estate, though they don't have budget allocation, but they are the first estate. They have to be respected, and they need to do their things with freedom. But it will depend on how they are doing, because there is a way you do your things, either in a professional way or you are following media ethics. So if I'm filing my story on someone, I have to be observant. I need to get facts, and news is about fact. You don't just need to concoct things that are not non-existent and to attract the public attention. There are certain medias and journalists who always want to publish things just to attract people to follow their things that they post, but others do facts. Now, Observer has been in existence for long. And there's one time also towards the COVID-19 where Daily Monitor was accused by President. And the President asked Daily Monitor to apologize, moreover on the front page, but they refused. The fountain of honor is the President. He told them to apologize and write apologies on the front paper, because they sticked on professionalism and they knew what they did was the fact. They refused. So if Anita Among, the speaker, what she's talking about Observer, what Observer published on the Parliament, if it is wrong and it was not the fact that transpired in Parliament, then Observer paper should come out and apologize. But if it was fact, then they should leave media to operate. They have freedom. They have to inform the public, because they are the ears of earless and eyes of eyeless. It is people down there who will know that this is happening in the country through media. So if they did was not true, then Anita Among is right to condemn it. But if Observer published was the fact of what transpired in Parliament, they should not apologize to Anita Among, and also they have their legal team. That is it. So they should not intimidate media from their work that they are doing, unless if they are going and professional, there they can be advised. But if they did was professional, her words are baseless. Yes.
That is very beautiful, and thanks for that great submission. Talking to Kangao Yeseri, what is actually your take on the Speaker's actually directive? Because Speaker had say that the allegations or the news that is making rounds into these newspapers saying that some MPs are given bribes to actually pass these, and that is how she called RIPEX bills in Parliament. But actually, into her say, she actually denied the accusations, saying these are all false, that all the decisions and the bills that are passed in Parliament are based on the interest of Ugandans. So what do you say about this?
Well, there are two things I'm thinking about. First of all, the timing of bringing these bills, to me, is very poor. The context is this. This is 2024. We all MPs, let's say all political offices, are only left with just 1 year to enter into election. 2026 is now when everybody will be running up and down looking for the vote. Now, when you bring such a bill to Parliament, by the way, let me also explain a little bit. Which bills are they talking about? It's about rationalization of the agencies.
Yes.
The issue is, it is clear to every Ugandan that the government is very extravagant in its expenditures.
Yes.
We are paying a lot of money A lot of
I
money.
was actually looking onto the story. Some of the agencies that were cited, we see in media reports, include Uganda National Road Authority, that's UNRA. We also see National Information and Technology Authority, NIRA. We see Uganda Coffee Development Authority and the Cotton Development Authority. Those are some of the organizations that were cited into the media reports.
Very good. So, so now that it is clear, what the government now has also realized is that it is true they are overspending. So what they are trying to do is to try and merge entities. We merge agencies into their mother ministries because they are doing the same thing. But these agencies came about to help the ministries to implement properly those government programs.
Absolutely.
But it comes at a very serious cost. So what the government is doing, that let's merge them so that it becomes just one entity.
Absolutely.
Now the other agencies, the challenge is they don't want to lose their jobs. These agencies, they are being paid a lot of money. Actually, in many cases, they are getting more money from, when you look at, for example, from the director, the deputy, to all the hierarchy. They are earning more money than even the mother ministries. Now, to tell these agents that go, where are they going to eat from? So there is also that possibility. We cannot rule out that perhaps Observer has some evidence that it has passed through the MPs. And then they have given them something that please refuse the merging. So there is that's also, for me, that's how I view it. That every time you see smoke, there is a possibility of a fire somewhere. It is so rare to see smoke when there is no fire. Now, what happens is this. It has come also at a wrong time. Maybe also Anita is right. It could also be sincere that these MPs have not been sincerely bribed. Why? Every MP is fighting for his name not to get tarnished.
Absolutely.
For example, look at for example, Coffee. Lutamaguzi, as an example, Honorable Lutamaguzi.
Yes.
From Nakaseke. This is a territory where he's coming from that is 100% relying on coffee.
On coffee, yes.
Now, when such an issue is raised that, okay, let's remove this Coffee Development Authority so that it disappears, how will that MP react?
It is actually...
He's going to say no, because likely, even back home, he's also having farms of coffee.
True.
So he's defending his own, and also he's defending his own citizens in his area, so that come 2026, the vote is also still there. So it is also true, it might be true that Anita is right, that there were no bribes. But also there is that possibility that some of those agencies are also bribing.
It is true.
So let's watch the space and see who is right.
Because still looking onto the story, you see if these organizations are merged together, you find that the number of people that are going to lose their jobs, and in the country, there is cost of jobs. And if these people come back to the community, we're expecting a lot of crimes to come about, in that people who have lost job, they will have nothing to survive on. And it will actually lead into much. And me, I see these people actually what they are trying to impede is right. Because if you imagine, there is a lot of things that are going to change
absolutely
in the meantime, and which will also affect the people, the Ugandans as well. Yeah, okay, thank you very much for the beautiful submission to the Anita amongst say. And to the issue of time, time is not our best ally. But lastly, I want us to look on MP Abed Buanika. This week, we actually saw Abed Buanika blustering Bobby Wine, Robert Kyagulanyi, the president of NOP, saying that his politics is built on insult, wealth, and homosexuality. And actually, this comes about, follows the remarks actually made by Bobby Wine during his recent performance in London, through the lyrics of one of his songs, referred to some of his MPs as dogs. So actually this called upon the attention of some of MPs, like Abed Buanika, to come out and actually express his feelings, the way he was disgusted. You understand? So actually, what is your look into this? Do you see the existence of NOP? Because currently, we've been seeing a number of things, a number of issues emerging time after time. in these political wings. If you go back to FDC, the very things are happening. If you come back to NUP, everything is happening. And today, the people that we know are the very people inside the party, are the ones coming out and saying that Bobby Wine is actually, his politics today is based on insult, wealth, and homosexuality. And talking on to the walls, I actually talked of many things that Bobby Wine is actually looking at buying houses all over the continents in the world. Understand? So where is it actually putting the image of NUP in 2026? Come the general elections.
Yeah. Actually, NUP had become very strong at the beginning. Actually, NUP has weakened FDC. FDC was the second biggest party after NRM before NUP came in. But just of recent, NUP had taken over. So Bobby Wine is the president of NUP. And Bobby Wine started his music career before he joined politics.
Yes.
And his message has ever been contained in his music. Bobby Wine has sung many songs about politics and even about the president.
It is true.
So I've not gone through his recent remarks where Abed Bwanika has come to condemn it. But I think if he sang about campaign and things that he went through, maybe challenges, whatever, it might be through anger, because there is a song even he sang recently when they were beaten in a parliament, when they were beaten by security guards, the MPs, there were several MPs who were beaten. Then later on, Bobi Wine also came and sang a song about the president, that you ruled our grandfathers, you have ruled us, and again you want to rule our children. It was because of anger. He sang that song and he passed the message. So Bobby Wine, it's not his first time where maybe those of Abed Bwanika will come and condemn him. If something is in your blood, you will always find a solution, like he's now a musician. So he thinks he will deliver his message only through the song to actually expose, or let me say, to show his grievances. It will be through songs,
yeah.
But indeed, if he is maybe insulting, that's where the trouble comes, because you are not supposed to insult or abuse when you are singing. You need to sing a song that carries a message to people, educative, entertain, and whatever.
Absolutely.
So if he did so, then that was bad. But Bobby Wine, I know, has ever been communicating through the music. And that's why even he was popular in his campaigns.
Because people had fame.
He had already branded himself in music, and he was famous. He sang about politics, he sang about everything. So this is not new. And also talking about buying houses all over the world. Yes, there are some leaders even, that's why they come out that we should expose our wealth. Some people refuse. That is your privacy. And first of all, maybe the question is, how is he getting his money? He's a member of parliament. He worked for his money. Bobby Wine, before becoming an MP, he was already rich. He was a ghetto president. He has his businesses, he has hardwares besides whatever other businesses. So he was also supported by some of those funders outside when he became a prominent politician. So his wealth he acquired, we cannot again start to investigate why he's buying. He has a right. He's using his money. No one has come out to accuse him that maybe he has stolen my money to go and buy something. No. So that is his wealth. It is his privacy. They should leave him do his things in a way, as long as what he's doing he's working for his grandchildren and for himself. So if Bobby Wine is getting his things and doing, he's right, let him do.
Thank you very much for the submission to the viewers of Elkem TV. One more time, I want to appreciate you for always keeping it your number one TV station in the area. And moving back to Kangao Yeseri, we have actually seen a submission from our colleague that is Andama Moses trying to express how Bobby Wine has been doing his things way back in time before even joining politics. There was been thinking about politics, doing a lot of things, you understand. He actually sang a lot of songs before even joining the politics. But currently, should we say that based on the recent story that is making round of Abedi Bwanuka blastering Bobby Wine, it was maybe they misquoted the information that he was exploring out of the music, and they ended up speaking about this?
Well, I love the spirit in entrepreneurship. Bobby Wine is an entrepreneur. At an early age, he thought of music. That was his business. Very lucrative, and he made it. At some point, he felt the desire to join politics. Now he formed Unity Platform, that organization. He's the president.
He's the president, yes.
Now, given his background, he has a very big following of people. Now, politically, that gave him a very good advantage. Now, one mistake, I think, I don't know if he properly calculated it or not, but was to allow people to recruit people anyhow without scrutinizing first. You see, these are people who come only when they see that you're doing well. Not really that they are buying your ideology or that they really want to go where you're going, but just because they want a lift. Now, in this case, the lift Bobby had was the Unity Platform political organization, which had a big following of people. Now, these other MPs, they were calculative. They said, to succeed, their aim, you have to join them so that now the people, because every time Bobby was doing like this, people were following him. They were yelling him. Now, many joined this Unity Platform
with their own motives,
with the wrong intention, first of all, to win and become an MP. Something they succeeded.
Getting into the system.
Now, when they got into the system, unfortunately, he attracted some big fish. He had some big catch, like the Matthias Impugas, the Medads, Segonas. Now look at that one, the Buanikas.
Yes.
Unfortunately, not only did they celebrate because they won being an MP, but now when they reached inside, they also had wrong expectations. They thought they were going to run very big offices. Now, when I welcome you into my home, it is not you to set for me the rules.
It is you.
It's me.
To give me the directives.
Yes. And that's why this is where most people get it wrong. When you join a political party, you find a certain way things are done there. Like, for example, if today I'm to change, and let's say, me, I'm a journalist, I don't have any political party, and I don't side with any. But I'm just giving an example. If I'm to join NRM, once we reach there, you will find they have their Secretary General there, they have their what? Bakuzimia buzimia. You can even just disappear like that. So it's better to be respectful. Now, these people, they went there and perhaps they had wrong expectations. Now, when they got disappointed, I think partly that is some of the fire you're hearing. But to me, I still view what Bobby is doing is fine. That is his political party. He knows the toils and the hills and the slopes he has gone through it. You don't just reach there and you want to dictate. They have to recognize him as the party president. And he has the authority to say, Joel Senyonyi, I'm giving you this. You are the Lopumpuga, please first step aside, like that. So whatever you're hearing, that homosexuality, whether it is true or right, I don't want to go that direction. But me, I want to look at it from the overall picture. Bobby Wine is the family head of that Unity Platform. All the other ones, they should obey him.
They are the subordinates.
They are the subordinates. If they feel they cannot, then let them leave.
They quit.
Yeah, if you join NRM and you find
His Excellency, the chairperson of that political party has already set his hierarchy, and you try to push and you can't, then better leave.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Instead of again actually malicing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not something so interesting.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
if they're, for example, attacking him for how whatever he's branding, whether he called them the dogs, whatever, that is his issues. They should find a way simply to be submissive to him. It is submission, respect, and proper behavior that will entice
Yes.
the top guy
Yes.
to start considering them for some other positions.
Yes, to appoint them. Okay, that is very beautiful, and I actually take this opportunity to appreciate everyone that has actually kept onto the show. Right here, I want to get into some messages, and we see the way of signing out of here. One more time, I want to appreciate everybody that has actually kept actually locked onto this particular show, and we see some the ones that have sent the messages. This is Asante Lazy Laz. Hello, Elkem, a nice program, but okay, I've seen the message, and once again you say, hey, Elkem TV, nice program, but network is going here. Okay, thank you very much. I think the management team will actually, technical team, will work onto that. And away from there, I also see another message. Hello, Andama, thanks for the program, my brother. Okay, that is good. And another message comes in from Azola Television. Thanks for the work. Okay, thanks for appreciating. Watching from Turkey, thanks very much. We actually appreciate you. Thanks for keeping locked into the Elkem TV. It's an honor watching Elkem. Indeed, you do connect us. Very beautiful, and I actually appreciate you. Thanks for actually watching us right from Turkey. It is a very beautiful moment, and I want to appreciate everyone that has kept locked into this particular show. But before I sign out, let me give an opportunity to my scrutinizers in the house to actually have their last word for the viewers of Elkem TV, and we sign out of here. Mr. Andama Moses, I pray that you have your last words for the viewers of Elkem TV, and we see a way of signing out of here.
Thank you very much. Actually, I want to appreciate whoever has been following us right from that time up now. Thank you very much. Just keep tuned, and always stay tuned and follow Elkem TV on our respective channels, Facebook, YouTube channel, share, and also like the link. We are out of here, I think, if God wishes. We meet again next week, and have a blessed weekend ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Andama Moses, for having your last submission for the viewers of Elkem TV, and Mr. Kangao Yeseri, the freelancer in Masindi. Thanks for coming through. And one more time, I want you to have your last submission for the viewers of Elkem TV, and we sign out of here.
Yeah, it was a great show. Thank you so much for the management for always inviting me here over, and also I thank so much the producer who has really worked tirelessly along with us. He has been with us from when we started. But also, most importantly, I want to send my greetings to Lazak in Masindi.
Lazak,
yes. He's a business back there. Thank you so much. And I also don't forget, of course, to greet Katafali, and then also Salim. I love you so much. Thank you so much for getting tuned. And please stay well until we catch up with you next week.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kangao Yeseri, for always coming through and being part of this particular show. One more time, I will appreciate my producer for having done this beautiful work. Thanks for always being on to the say. That is Mayanja behind the machines. And Laz and Azola, thanks for always keeping on to the show. I want to appreciate everyone that is actually that kept tuned. Students from that is Kitara Institute. I know you always keep locked onto this particular show. I appreciate you for always loving this program. And right here, I sign out. I can't actually forget to say to send my regards to everyone that loves me and the ones that hates me. Julie Kitty News Natch, big up on yourself, and thanks for actually having kept onto the show. We out of here. Let's catch up next week and have yourself a nice weekend.